I would like to let the first of our guests on stage. And in the meanwhile, I'm sure more of them will be coming. So the first one is Brian from ZK Land. Hello, Brian. How are you? Happy Provisions Day.
Hi there, Sar. How are you? I think everyone is getting too excited. There may not be very focused on listening to what we're talking. They're just checking all the different wallets that they have and then just comparing notes against each other. Very exciting times, and I'm very glad to be here. Thank you for the invite.
Thanks a lot for coming, Brian. And I'm so happy that you're here because, we've known each other for a long time. And, we know also our efforts, our struggles, during this time. And we have been waiting for this moment, for such a long time. And finally, it is here. And it's a pleasure to celebrate that with people like you. And so, first of all, just let me know some of the first impressions that you're having a look at the article, at the allocation. It looks pretty good, right? It looks like one of the biggest airdrops also ever.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, just looking at the top line number, 700 million tokens, and then 1.3 million eligible wallets. I think that's a very widespread of user that are able to enjoy the rewards. And it's not just StartNet. They have guys that support StartNet, guys that use StartXP4. I think these are all being covered. So I think it's a very generous and it's a very well considered reward scheme. So I think everyone who has contributed to the community and who has active usage and active regular interactions with protocols on StartNet will have reward one way or another. So I think I surely do hope everyone is quite pleasantly surprised with this news right now.
Absolutely, Brian. Yeah, I agree with most of your takes. And let me also let Chaner from Fibrous on stage. Hello, Chaner. Happy Provisions Day. How is it going?
Hi, Chaner. I think you might be on mute.
Exactly. You are muted. Okay, let me see. I'll try letting him in later on, as soon as I see his mic is on. And in the meanwhile, we can just wait for the others a little bit, and then we'll also be starting, hearing about also like I would like to know, and I would like our viewers to know, the recent developers from also ZK Land, and also your approach towards towards this new age, right? The after STRK Token age. And I'm curious to know, like maybe we can already start with that. So just let me know. Let's have also a retroactive view about what you've done during all this time, and what we can expect from ZK Land in these exciting times.
Yeah, for sure. So for us, ZK Land, we have been building for a very long time on StartNet. Very long time meaning since early 2022. We have been building for about 2 years. I think we were one of the first DeFi protocol to build, along with Jedi swaps, along with some of the other very native, for example, Pragma back in the days. So I think we have endure a lot of the different changes that StartNet has gone through, and definitely not an easy journey, because I think StartNet as a whole itself, the language, Cairo, it's already a barrier to a lot of newcomers. But the great thing, the silver lining, is that the support on the ecosystem for new builders has been phenomenal. From the very first day where there weren't any libraries and then there weren't any real infrastructure, to when you have multiple explorers now, and then you would have different bridges bridging onto StartNet, and then the StartNet book, and also all the different resources that developer can use to access the language. It's phenomenal. There has also been a big upgrade for the Cairo language, and that has quite a big impact on how accessible StartNet is to developers. And I think StarNet is the only ecosystem that has a net developer growth in 2022 compared to all the other ecosystem. So that's a big plus. And for us, we have been building, and effectively we launched our mainnet in October 2022 last year. Has been quite some time because there were some back and forth between the Cairo 0 and Cairo 1 code. So that took us a little time for the conversion. And right now we are probably supporting 6 assets on StarNet. 4 stablecoins, or 3 stablecoins, and then ETH, Rapstic ETH, and BTC. And we're looking to support much more. For example, we're having a discussion with other protocols to support the tokens on an isolated pool basis, and all the cool different features that, cool new features that we have in terms of, for example, leveraging multi-calls to basically have a one-click feature for withdrawal, for repayment. I think these are all small features that will actually add to the user experience. And I'll pause here first because I think there's still a lot that I want to talk about for 2024. But I know I've been talking for quite some time, and there might be newcomers, so I don't want to hog the space.
No worries, my friend. And but thanks a lot, for giving us this great, retrospective journey, throughout, the ZK Land experience and project. And I see Chanel with us, so I'll let him in. But thanks a lot once again, Brian. Please stay with us if you can, of course.
Of course.
And we'll be back on the StarkNet eligibility chart. And hello, Chanel. How are you? Welcome. Happy Provision Day. Hello.
Hello, friend.
I'm good. I'm pretty excited about the whole this day because it's been a long while for this mission, and today I'm feeling like it's the first day of the real StarkNet ecosystem, and I don't know, I'm full with excitement right now for the community, for the developers, and I'm pretty sure that will be just a new start for all of the entire StarkNet ecosystem.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's the first day of a new era, right? The AfterToken, after Stark Token age. And so I just wanted to know, your first impressions about the article. I don't know if you had the chance to have a quick look at it, also to see the allocations, the different allocations to the different categories. What are your first thoughts about it? Because as I was saying to Brian, it looks like also one of the biggest airdrops ever, and it includes a lot of categories, such as also like the ETH stakers with a 21%, which is quite a lot.
Yeah. I think it seems pretty okay for increasing the growth of the StarkNet ecosystem, because the key play of the airdrop is that should be for sustainability of the ecosystem, and according to that, I'm able to see that that will help for maturity of the ecosystem, and also enable to implement the new users to the ecosystem. And to be as a DeFi applications, it's pretty important to get a new traction and the new users by day. And allocations, especially for the Ethereum eligible or the StarkX eligible, it's given an opportunity for onboarding a new users to StarkNet. And also I'm thinking that I'm paying attention to give a grant for the open source developers or the core developers, because the thing that I really loved in the StarkNet is that always paying attention to builders and the builder ecosystem, because I think the StarkNet, especially within the Cairo environments, could create a development culture in that pathway within grants, and always paying attention to developers to get together each other and to create a good communication between each of us. And this provision is also showing that to how the developers in the StarkNet are important. So yeah.
Yeah, great takes. I don't know, Brian, if you would like to agree or to add some takes on Channel's views.
No, absolutely. I agree 100%. I think StarkNet has always been very focused on building its developers' technical capacity, and then being able to cultivate a very strong developers network. And through supports on, like I said, the resources and things like that. And I think right now it also reflects with basically using tokens to put money where its mouth is, and providing support for ecosystem builders, because a lot of them have done a lot of great work, but they have been behind the scene, or they have been very focused on creating really cool infrastructure projects that are being used by a lot of different protocols, but they may not have a front end user interface per se, or they may not be particularly for end users, but they're critical pieces that should not be neglected and will have to be rewarded accordingly. So I think this one is definitely on point, and I hope that starting with the new tokens coming in, we'll still have a very developer-centric ecosystem, and I believe that it will be. And yeah, I'm very excited to see how this new day or new era of tokens and new liquidity will bring in more talented developers and projects on board.
Yeah, absolutely. Really excited at what's coming, and we'll be seeing a lot of also liquidity incentive programs, a lot of projects also getting in partnerships with other projects, a lot of collaborations. So I think the next months will be very, very exciting. Really looking forward to it. And before we let Edward on stage, Edward from ZKX, Chanel, would you also like to tell us Fibrous approach to this new era, like your recent features and developments, and also your upcoming features, if you can say something, some spoilers and stuff like that?
Of course. Maybe before to start, I would like to say that our general vision for developing Fibrous is that showing the opportunities and the possibility of the different tech stacks. So we will continue to develop on the STRK for showing that how it will be effective for using that tech environment in the near future. And regarding to STRK release, maybe I would say airdrop or provision. I have a few pieces of the good news to share for effective transaction by the users, because as in the first impression, everybody will be going to maybe trade and to get a volume in the STRK pairs. We offering to both ideal gas optimization and the price fetching. So we have updated our whole infrastructure in the past week. And also there will be an innovation in our UI and a few more announcement about the integration in coming days. And another point, which I'm really pleased to share, maybe we can count as an alpha, is that limit order will be available for users before to start claim. And we are launching this feature to allow the DeFi users to trade at the desired price in the most aggregated manner. And that will be maybe pioneered that way in the near future, which is not yet widespread in the STRK ecosystem. And we hope to leave a good gift from Fibrous Finance for a wonderful STRK season in the whole this ecosystem. And for sure, within the incentives, we would like to give a good incentives for our community too, and create a much more efficient and community-related way to Fibrous users. And maybe we will be sharing many good news for the future for our new users and our old users too. And all I can say is, if you know, enjoy to hold the STRK ecosystem and for Fibrous too.
That's great, Chanel. And so viewers, you have heard it right. Limit orders are coming to the Fibrous DeFi aggregating, swap aggregators. And let me call Edward and Edward from ZKX and RTP from Nostra on the stage. Hello, guys. Happy Provisions Day. How is it going? Woo!
Hey there.
Hello, guys.
Nice to see you all.
GM. How's it going? What a day, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So let's
Wolf
start
is
with
out.
the wolves are out. Yeah, absolutely. I have also like I was basically playing these And there's like there's the dog outside answering to that actually. And yeah, very fun. And by the way, yeah, maybe we can start with your first impressions about the news. If you had the chance to read the article, to have a look at the allocations, what's your first impression? And yeah, starting with Edward.
Sure. I think obviously 1.3 million wallets. I mean, that's an impressive number, right? So I think overall it shows that it was really well thought, and that they wanted to make an impact that will really gather the attention of the ecosystem. And a lot of us here have spent over 2 years building in the ecosystem by now. And so this is a much welcome event that we have all been very excited about. And the fact that it's finally out, it's really a source of happiness to a certain extent for all of us. And what I would say is that, it's interesting, the approach, obviously rewarding very early Ethereum users, rewarding, some core developers within the ecosystem. So it's a well thought approach that is very much developer centric as well as core user centric. Obviously, moving forward, we're going to have more information on the future incentive programs for DeFi, and I think that will also be very interesting, and in terms of leading to further growth in the entire ecosystem. But yeah, overall, very excited, very positive. Yeah, can't wait.
Awesome, man. What about you, RTP? What's your first thoughts about the STRK eligibility day?
Yeah, I mean, I would echo what Eduardo said. When you look at the distribution, it seems pretty well distributed across various different participants that have added value to the STRK ecosystem at large, and Ethereum as well. And that includes your builders, your users, also sort of Ethereum core developers, etc. So I think it's a lovely kind of an artistry piece almost, with it not being too imbalanced, and it brings together the community, right, that perhaps may not have used. If you look at STRKX users, for example, many of them may not have used STRKnet that much, or you've got EIP authors who are just normally in the background, but being part of the ownership and the decentralization. So I think it's awesome. It's super exciting that we're going to have a new bit of virality coming to the ecosystem, and as a part of like Nostra, we're completely ready, and it's going to be exciting next couple of months, I think. Oh yeah.
That's great. And also, yeah, I'm really impressed by the percentage, allocations percentage that is going to the ETH stakers, like 22% basically, which is a lot. And also, as you were saying, these allocations also took into account some of those people that are usually behind the scenes, right? And but that definitely deserve some some rewards, as without them, obviously, there wouldn't be projects building on on any chains. So yeah, definitely, I'm really happy about that. And coming back, switching towards like your projects more in the details, we are curious to know what's your your project's approach to this new era. So also tell us your recent projects developments, and also the upcoming ones that you're about to issue, to launch in the near future. Maybe we can start from Edward.
Sure. So, I mean, we haven't been in mainnet as long as maybe zkLand has been, or Nostra, or Fibers. So we're relatively, even though we've been building for quite a while in this space, we're relatively new to the mainnet on STRKnet. And for us, it was honestly a matter of timing, and we are happy that the timing was right to launch now, and to be able to benefit from the further wave that we're going to see coming up in the ecosystem. And so that's how we're looking at. There's not perps is one of the essential primitives that you want to see within an ecosystem, and so having STRK listed as a perp within that will be coming very handy for many of these users as they strive to not only hedge their STRK token positions, but also, potentially have some lever trading. So yeah, I think the timing is right. We're preparing additional releases that are going to be coming up in the coming weeks, just to further amplify, the momentum. And I'm sure everyone here has also some cool stuff planned for the next weeks and months.
Very, very exciting. And what about Nostra's RTP? We heard and we saw a lot of new developments, and also you launched your AMM recently. So yeah, we're very eager to know about your upcoming features and developments.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a busy couple of months. It's been super exciting. We just keep shipping and building. For us, we got Nostra pools, and we're going to support STRK tokens within those Nostra pools, the AMM, which is hooked into Avenue as the aggregator of STRKnet, one of the aggregators of STRKnet. And so yeah, I mean, we're ready. We're going to have a couple of pools on STRK, and also enable it in our money market so people can lend it, get yield, and also borrow if they so wish. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be super exciting, like a bunch of liquidity and value added to the system, and only things can get more interesting from there. So yeah, we're super pumped. Not sure when exactly we'll be able to go live, but as soon as the token's out, we'll be at the helm.
That's cool. And well, guys, I think I know that you're very busy, so I would like to let you go as soon as possible. But maybe I don't know if Brian and Chandler would like to, and also Edward and RTP would like to add some some considerations, and also like to send a final message of like enthusiasm and encouragement for the months to come, as we'll definitely need that. As yeah, I think that also the overall crypto market is going to grow a lot in the coming months, and you're also some piece of advice that we'd like to hear from you. I don't know, we can start from Brian.
Yeah, thank you. I think I can touch a little bit more on our 2024 roadmap too, because haven't had a chance to go into what we're looking at towards the future. So I think for the StarNet tokens coming live with the liquidity pumping up, DeFi definitely it's going to be very exciting. We have CKX coming on board very, very nicely timed, and then a lot of different DEXs and perps that are also being coming onto mainnet very, very soon. So I think for DeFi, for gaming, I think these are all very, very cool narratives that as a lending protocol, as a liquidity layer, we want to support. So so some of the things that we are catering specifically for this, it's basically a no-brainer for us would be isolated markets, basically supporting new ecosystem tokens, for example, the tokens of CKX, for example, Lords for gaming. And these are all basically to enable the liquidity, the borrowing and lending of these ecosystem tokens in a very isolated manner, so that the risk don't spill over to the main markets, and we're able to provide a much more flexible incentive, much more flexible interest rate curve, and also collateralization ratio. And adding on top of it, because we know that the risk management for these type of isolated pool will be slightly more advanced. So we will be working with guys like Nimbora or other yield strategy to actually create vaults, so that there will be asset allocation and risk management being added on top of CKLend's market. And I think lastly, what we want to do in the middle of this year would be to leverage the power of the native account and multi-call, so enabling transactions builder, so that we will be able to modularize different DeFi transactions into one single sign-off. I think this is something that has to be done on StarNet, and it's something that it's just a no-brainer for all the DeFi protocols to really strive towards a very streamlined user experience. I think definitely all the DeFi protocol shares are basically OGs, and would love to see every one of us just really shines and excel in this new era. And I think we all have the right ingredients to own our piece of the market and basically take it to the next level. I think StarkNet has a lot of potential still to be uncovered, and I think a lot of the new updates, for example, Paymaster and things like that, I think these are all haven't been really touched on, but they're fantastic and phenomenal, powerful features. So I'm very excited. I will leave some more updates for the other guys to cover, so I don't take up everything. Back to you.
Thanks a lot, Brian. Before moving to Channer, I would also like, seeing that we had like a 10x increase in viewers in the last 5 minutes. I would also like to add a sub questions. Maybe Brian will answer that, at last. Like, when your project token, seeing that today is like is like STRK Token Day. Also, we can also add this kind of sub question, starting with Channer, with your final views and message.
Thank you. I'm agreeing that to hold the words of the Brian, and maybe I can add shortly is that my general expectation are to attract new users and to reach the retail users whose movements will be much more predictable, and whose desires we can see that thus becoming a more mature ecosystem will be within that provision. And this way, I believe that every project protocol will be able to better establish its development pathway in the near future, because before to that line, maybe all the L2 ecosystem was challenging within to understanding to what the users wanted to do. But the StarkNet will catch that vision for to create a usable ecosystem for new users, and that will be a much more enjoyable for both developers and the users. And I'm feeling a bit lucky for the users because each of the gentlemen in here build amazing projects for you in the native way. And I think the StarkNet will become a space filled with apps like the OGs in here, and the people enjoy using it free from any speculation. And yeah, that's all in my side.
That's great. And when fibrous?
Ooh, I don't know. It's hard to say a day,
you can,
but everybody
can
can be sure there will be a token. So yeah,
that's cool. Yeah, very cool. What about you, Richard?
When token or what?
No. When everything, in the sense like your final message, also like predictions for the coming months, and maybe if you would like to say something about your, project's token, it's okay. Otherwise, don't worry. I don't want to push you.
No. I won't probably get into that. But I think, this is just the beginning. I mean, I remember, Brian would know, and Edward and kind of, but we deployed our alpha, was it December 2022? It seems like 10 years ago now, like a decade. I remember those times when, I used to try to confirm a transaction and go to make a coffee and come back, and the wheel was still spinning. So we've come a long way since then, which is great. You can just see the tech like exponentially getting better, and the user experience overall. And that's what we're super focused on. That's why we love StarkNet. We chose StarkNet because we think that the potential for it for scaling is on ZK and Stark proofs at that. And so validity proof, sorry. I think we're going to unlock new use cases. Exciting to that we've got this sort of like vigor in the system now with the Stark and some economic sort of activity. But I think there's going to be a lot more builders. Every time you go to a StarkNet CC in a hacker house, like the numbers just keep increasing. And then shout out to Damien because he's like doing a stellar job with that as well, and all the team. But you're going to see a lot of these projects just come through, and then deploy on StarkNet and sort of make it a lot more exciting. So yeah, it's going to be a great year, I think. Super. Oh, you're back. I thought you left us.
No worries.
Yeah, it's going to be a super great year. I mean, for us, we're just focused on building out the UX, and sort of like focusing on building up a super app, basically. So, our thesis was like, there's a lot of applications to do lots of different things, and for the core user journey, for example, swapping, lending, borrowing, bridging. There's all different apps to do all these things, and we want to sort of aggregate that into one experience to make it a lot more simpler and easier, and not recreating the wheel for all of this. So where there's partners and integrators that we can work with, we'll do that. And that's kind of our thesis, to kind of put Nostra and STRKnet and crypto at large in the hands of 1 billion users. So we're on the road to that. It's still early, and we'll keep pushing.
That's great, Richard. Thanks a lot for that. And Edward, well, I also think that ZKX is the only project represented here that has the token already, actually, even though it's not active, right? So you can skip the questions pretty easily. But yeah, tell us a bit about your final message.
So 1 billion users may take some time, but we may have 1.3 million users, which is already amazing. And I would say for everyone that's listening, have some patience. The network's gonna be jumped a little bit the next few weeks. There's gonna be a lot of demand coming in, a lot of people trying to claim their tokens. Have some patience. Things are gonna work out for everyone. And with proto-dank sharding coming up as well very shortly, transaction costs are going to drop massively across the board. So that should facilitate the onboarding of more users. We're already seeing how users are depositing back and forth from centralized exchanges. That's an interesting phenomenon that we really wanted to drive forward, so we can bring those users from Binance, from OKX, from KuCoin, bring them over to STRKnet. I think that's going to be a very important mission too. So yeah, from ZKX perspective, we want to continue listing more perps, growing in terms of composability and integrations within the ecosystem. And ZKX token, you can come trade and already earn it directly into your ZKX account. When it's going to go live in terms of listing, that's still a secret.
Absolutely. Yeah. Also, I forgot to congratulate you on the product, because when it was launched, I played with it a bit, and also I managed to win some of the tournaments that you
oh,
set.
nice.
And yeah, it was very very fun. And so amazing to see your products live after so much work that you put into it. Mm-hmm. And maybe Brian, I don't know if you want to add on the token side, seeing that you sneak peeked your airdrop eligibility page like some days ago.
Yeah, that's right. So the sneak peek is out. We will have an airdrop. There will be multiple seasons. So the season 1 is coming out. The criteria will be released shortly, and I think it's going to be a very exciting months ahead. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Look at all the guys right here. I think these are your key alphas.
Well, awesome, Brian. Thanks a lot. And guys, I think it's time to let you go on or such a busy schedule that I'm sure you have. And once again, thanks a lot from the depth of my heart for coming here on such a short notice. And we made this impromptu panel, but I think it came out very, very well. And so thanks a lot once again for coming. Hopefully, I'll have you back at the Stark stream very, very soon. Maybe also to comment your future projects airdrop or any other exciting feature. And having said that, guys, just let me say goodbye to you in this way.
There we go.
Thanks a lot. Take care.
Thank you, Mr. Thank you, everyone.
Take care,
Bye bye. Bye.
Bye.